Now, Judy Van Raalte, before the break, we were talking about, I wanted to discuss various groups of Americans with you. We talked a little bit about seniors. On the other end of the spectrum, with kids. Now, we've already kind of had, we're in the midst of a lack of movement epidemic amongst American children. And now, since so many of them aren't in school, which might have been the place, maybe one of the only safe places they could just play outside and run around on the playground, or were participating in team sports, which now they can't do either, and they might be cooped up at home with parents who are trying to work from home. I mean, I think if it's pretty complicated if you're a kid. What are the kinds of things that families can do to help keep their kids moving?
So I'm going to start by talking about school-age kids, because I think the toddlers and little ones deserve some special attention. And those parents with small children at home deserve some extra support and attention too. So the school-age kids are challenged by the same social distancing things that we talked about. Brian talked about taking a hike with his son. A lot of kids can do some of the adult things that other people are doing. They may have been more involved in team sports and might shift to some of the other kinds of exercise classes. There's still some skill development that can happen. If you're a person with just a little bit of space, kicking a ball against a wall, or is something that can happen. Sometimes siblings can play together. Mm-hmm. I like to think for kids who are really involved in sports, who might have some goals, I want to improve my catching, I want to improve my accuracy, that they may be able to come up with some skills and drills that they can work on or find on the internet to do at home. So when things are over, they might not have played in a game, but they've improved their technique, their strength, or their stamina.
Okay. So that's for slightly older kids. You said you wanted to talk specifically about toddlers too?
Yeah. So the toddlers have a lot of energy. Now, grown-ups can chase toddlers, and that certainly it helps with their fitness. But having the kids be organized can be helpful too. So a colleague, Dr. Jens Omley, has come up with something that families can do at home. He calls it the TOTT approach, T-O-T-T. So the first thing is the task. It could be catching, it could be stretching, it could be picking things up. Maybe for parents with toddlers who want their kids to learn to pick up toys, picking things up is good. And then the game, so this is how you develop a game with your toddler. First pick the task, then the objective, maybe to pick up a bunch of stuff, maybe 10 of them, maybe catch without dropping, maybe do it as quickly as possible. Then you need tools. So if you're in the countryside or a more suburban area, maybe you have a cone and some balls. If you're in an apartment or a smaller space, maybe you have a cup and some cotton balls. I'd say wad up toilet paper, but that's too precious. So that's your tools, T-O-T. And then finally, the theme. So if you have little ones and Frozen and Elsa and Anna are what your family is all about, then maybe the cup and cotton balls and ice cream cone and put the ice cream in. If yours is more into superheroes, then maybe it's picking up all the bad guys and capturing them and trapping them in the cup. So a task, an objective, some tools and a theme, and set them off to go, time them, count them, and have them do it again. And it can be a way for families to play together, have some fun, and also stay active.
Oh, so I love the creativity behind that. But I'm also feeling for all the parents or family members out there who are like, oh, it's another thing I'm going to have to invent at home while having to do everything else right now. So I want to acknowledge that. Like we're asking a lot of people at this moment. But Judy, I just wanted to circle back quickly one thing to kids who play team sports. And I would even expand this to adults who play team sports in their neighborhoods, or if they've got intramurals going on or had them going on. Just to, again, reiterate that exercise and team sports are such an important way for people to maintain sort of social connections as well. It's not just the workout that they're missing, but it's their friends, it's the schedule, it's the lifestyle around the team. I don't know how you replace that if you don't have the team and, the brackets, for example, themselves to just follow in a regular season, whether it's at, a neighborhood league or not.
So I think that you're right, and that you really hit on an important issue of what is the goal, that these are really different times. Mm-hmm. And so trying to make the world as it was when it's different and the context is different will be setting yourself up for failure. So thinking about maybe what could work for you and what's fun for you now or what's working now, and realizing that might change is okay. And expect some slipping. So, sure, you might reach for the remote to turn on and see what sports are on and recognize again and again, oh, that's disappointing. That's different. That's not possible. So I think there is a change. I think it's important to acknowledge that for some people it's a loss, and also to look at what spaces are open up that you might look at differently. So if you're not playing sports, maybe watching some old games or people you admire as athletes might be a way to learn about your sport. So when you come back, you're smarter and better able to play in that regard.
Yeah, Blair from Santa Cruz, California called us.